So the goal of this sponsorship summit is to help you find sponsors and learn what they value, and then create that value through your racing, and then present it in a way that they buy a sponsorship and they sign up and become a partner, as we've heard in your program. But first you have to meet a sponsor. Well, how do you meet sponsors? I get that question a lot. We'll talk about that in the networking at the end, where you meet them in person. But once you've met somebody in person, you want to provide them with some kind of material that attracts them to your program and starts a conversation. And that's a deck. A deck can be anything that gets a conversation started that then starts a relationship. It can be a postcard that's very well done. It can be a video. It can be a link to a website. It can be a PDF file. It can be a pamphlet. If it's something that attracts attention and lets a brand manager or sponsorship director look and go, wow, this is interesting. Our brand could use this type of marketing. That's a deck. Decks are usually colorful. They can be videos. There's a lot of imagery in a deck. You want to show through images to somebody who doesn't know much about what you're doing, what they can get involved with if they join your program. Now, a proposal, that's after they know you and after you know them. You don't propose to somebody you just met. You get to know someone for a while first. After you've met a new potential sponsor through a deck and have a relationship started, you learn from them what they need. When Vaughn and I were speaking a few days ago, he has an executive summary that he sends out. When he meets a new brand, he asks them, what do you want? What do you need? And if sometimes, many times actually, it's not a right fit because he can't provide that for him, so he doesn't even pursue that sponsorship. But there are other times when the brands actually could use what Vaughn can provide. And now the conversation starts, now the relationship starts. After he knows them and they know him, then he can start to put something together that says, I can do this, 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 and that for you. And I'll be at these events. I'll be reaching these people. And that's now your proposal. A proposal can be a Word document. It can be just written down. It's typically is just a Word document, and it's a list of what you are going to provide, potentially with some values for a sponsor in return for them sponsoring you and partnering with you. You're an extension of their marketing arm. So it's your way of saying, if you sponsor me and join my program, here's what I can do. And then also here's what we expect from you, typically product or money. So there's a difference between a deck and a proposal. Don't send the wrong one at the wrong time to the right person, because you probably won't get a call back. Proposals are very specific. They say exactly what you're going to do for a company after you've met that company and you know what their business model is. And the proposal is what they're going to hold you to. It'll probably become part of a contract that you're going to have. If it's a big sponsorship, you're going to sign a contract, and that proposal will list what they expect from you. Now, the deck, that's something that you're using to fish. It's eye candy. So decks, you want to try to cater a deck to the type of company that you're soliciting. An energy drink has different needs from, let's say, a tire company. Tire company has different needs from a hand power tool company. So a service provider has totally different needs. So you don't send the same deck to attract the same, all these companies. You want to provide a company with material and sort of eye candy that's going to attract them. With an insurance company, show them decks that demonstrate visually how you're going to collect leads and maybe make the insurance company, feel good because nobody wants to buy insurance. For a retail store, show them through your deck how you're going to drive traffic to their physical locations and maybe their website. For a tire wheel company, show them how you're going to sell more tires and wheels. How are you going to do that? Then they see that in the deck, they go, I think I want to join this program. Then in the proposal, you write out specifically how you're going to make that happen. So Tony and Megan, let's talk about that for a second. Tony, when you were with K&N, when people sent you marketing material for K&N to sponsor them, how often were you getting good decks, good proposals, good material, and how often did what you received go into the trash? And then what did you look for, and what do you recommend drivers send in order to get your attention, or any marketing director's attention?
Yeah, sure. Alex, this is, I think, what's strengthened our relationship. You and I had a common bond probably a dozen years ago about, how infuriating it was that we just couldn't get the right materials and things. And it was a really big challenge of going, I know that half of these proposals, quote unquote, are going to the trash are probably people that can do a great service for me at that time. But it just wasn't, I just didn't catch it. It just wasn't there. It didn't catch my eye. I didn't do those things. And 9 times out of 10 is because it was too cumbersome. And what I mean by that is that to your point, having a deck, proposal, everything all wrapped up into one, and you're basically making a general sales pitch. And then I had to sit down and figure out, how can I dissect their program to work for me? And for me, that was just too much work. I'm going, hey, look, I'm the one that's spending the money. I'm paying you for a service, to speak very just genuinely. I'm looking for you to tell me what you can do. And if you take that in any other form of professionalism, that's not how it works. So it shouldn't work that way here. So giving yourself a deck and putting yourself out there in those ways, flash, and setting that hook, and going back to the fishing terms, and then coming back to that proposal, and really making sure that that proposal is more concise, not too much fluff, easy to read, and allows you to take that next step. It's basically your sales hook, and that's what you get, right? You're baiting it with the deck. You're setting the hook with the proposal, for using those type of terms. And I would say at K&N traditionally, I would see less than, I would give a thorough read less than 10% of what we actually came through, because there just wasn't a very, very vast group that would actually separate those pieces. And it was really, again, a cumbersome job on my side to kind of differentiate who really could help me move that needle. And so going back to using that term, finding opportunities to build my plan, to fit my plan. So when we'd have our plan, we'd set it out and create almost a matrix of sorts and say, here's what our plan, we want to hit in these areas. And here's what I found, here's what I found here. And then I would tell you that 9 times out of 10, we would rework the whole proposal that came from the person that I actually had the interest in to fit my plan. It wasn't that they weren't capable of doing it. It wasn't probably already on their agenda, but I didn't see that because they didn't know what my plan was yet.
So was that plan aligned with the budget for the fiscal year? In a fiscal year, you get a budget, and then you can take that budget and plan what you're going to do with that money?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, everything's going to be budget based. It always is, right? But that budget can range from anywhere from monetary to product, especially within an endemic, partner, or it could even be media or continuity and connection. Having partners that have a strong brand alliance that can actually help carry you, because you turn around and, I try to use this a lot in one of my biggest pieces that I always worked with in K&N. It was, I was always trying to give back to a partner in more way, in the same way they gave to us. And it wasn't just about connecting our brands, but it was also about help developing their product as they were help developing ours. And what I mean by developing their product was try to help them understand going, hey, and you turn around and you go to somebody and you want to promote going, hey, I really want to be a partner with you. And look what I'm doing over with K&N. Not only do I help you, but K&N helps you as well, because K&N's got 1 million followers on social, or they have these plans that they're putting me into. And that becomes a higher value to that partner as well. They're going, hey, I'm over here at Mechanics Wear and I'm working with these gloves and they're a great fit for my brand. But you know what? Now every K&N consumer is now seeing a Mechanics Wear piece, and it becomes a brand continuity between the two, elevates the B2B, and it helps that partnership may not give you the financial pieces that you need, and they may not give you the product pieces you need, but they definitely give you the media and the partnership recognition that you may need. So you have to really evaluate your program among all of those different levels, not just on that monetary dollar piece. You always want to get there because you need it. You can't keep going without those dollars. Totally get that. But sometimes you take on a partner just to help you get to that next one.